Okay, welcome to How to Format Your Research Paper with Word 2007. I will also make a few comments about Word 2003, so if you have that one, you can also know how to set up your paper that way. If you use Works, there are different ways you can do that too, but I can talk to you individually if necessary. Okay. Now first, we're going to take a sample paper and I'm going to illustrate what to do with a sample, very rough draft that is even single-spaced. And so I'm assuming that your paper starts off single-spaced, but if you've already double-spaced your paper, then ignore the directions for double-spacing again. And it's the one that I had shown in class on Monday. And first thing you need to do with this paper is you need to put the identifying information on it. So let's say that the writer's name is John Smith. Okay, you type that in, you type in my name, the professor's name, so that it gets to the right person if it's lost. Put in the name of the course, English 102, and the section number. If you are in the 12 o'clock class, you're section 007. If you're in the 1 o'clock class, you're in section 008. Then you put the date that you're turning it in. In this case, oh, it's not the 9th, I guess. It will be the 6th when you're watching it. So we change that slightly. Now, you also then need to put a title in. A title is good. You need to have the title say something, especially even by pointing out your viewpoint. This one's about gangster rap, so original title on this was simply gangster rap, but that's not explanatory now. And let's say we decided to call it gangster rap. It's not going to make you a gangster. Make you a gangster. Notice that I have used title case. I'm capitalizing each of the main words in the title. I'm going to add a little bit to the first part. Listening. It's not about making gangster rap. To gangster rap is not going to make you a gangster. So that's the general idea of the paper, the viewpoint, and I am putting this in boldface and I am centering it. And so far we've got, it's looking like a research paper should start looking like. But we need to do more. We need to put it all in double spacing, and you go to this arrow under the paragraph box, and that shows the paragraph dialog box, and under line spacing you go to the arrow there and click double and then OK. So it lengthens the paper and it sets up the heading properly on the one that goes on the first page. This is the way the first page is supposed to look like. There's one thing missing though, and that is the header and the page number, which will go on every single page. To do that easily, you need to go to the Insert tab, and then what you'll do is you'll go to page number, and then you want it to be on the top of the page, so you click top of page and plain number 3. That's the one you want. Okay, and you notice that's in gray, but it will appear on every single page. And so then what you do with that is then you need to put a header along with it, but you don't have to do any header separate, separate headers or anything like that. You can just put Smith. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. It shows up on the same line, and then you can click close header and footer, and you'll see that it shows up Smith Smith, Smith on every page. In fact, you'll notice that there is no works cited on this. Well, this person does need to have a works cited, and as they're progressing a little bit further with their paper, they need to make a page break and do a works cited title. The works cited should begin on its own page, and I'm going to boldface that and center that as well. Now at the back of the paper, I'm just going to make a little list of what I'm expecting to see in this research paper. You know, what sources did this person include? Does it make you include certain things? Okay, you read along here, and so far you don't see any reference to any kind of actual source. They're talking about truth commercials and mostly personal opinion in this part. And then it starts talking about families that rappers used to have and how it's hard to get out of their situation. And then he uses the example of Christopher Wallace, or Notorious B.I.G. And so I'm sure he got this information from somewhere. So I'm going to put Christopher Wallace at the very end of the paper before the works cited, because this is going to be, I better see something that is a source showing where you got the information about Christopher Wallace. Okay, because that's not something you know just off the top of your head. Okay, so he's got Wallace, then he's even got a parenthetical reference here of somebody named Rosenthal, even though it is not introduced, which it should be. So that's some work that needs to be done in the rough draft. The names are just stuck in parentheses there. So we got Rosenthal, we got Oakes. I'm looking for parenthetical references. We got Oakes several times. So we got Rosenthal, Oakes, and then I see Bowles here, and let's see. And then Leopard, and there's also a video game called Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That needs to be cited as well. You need to cite the video game. So what I'm going to do is make this list of what I've seen. This is what we will have been doing in class on Wednesday. So he's got Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Leopard. So these are some sources, and so this person's going to have to put 4 more sources in it. It's a little short anyway, so I think they have a bit of work to do, but at least the formatting is set up, and I think you know, the logic in that paper probably needs a little bit of work, but there's a good start. Okay, it's a good beginning. So another paper that I want to draw